The people who struggle the most with taking action are often the people who understand life the most. They read more, they think deeply, they analyze everything, and yet they feel stuck. So in this video, we are going to explore the 3 hidden psychological reasons why people know the right thing but still don't do it. And by the end of this video, I will share one simple mental shift that can make taking action much easier. But first, we need to understand a frustration that many people quietly carry. There is a very specific kind of frustration that people rarely talk about. It's not confusion, it's not lack of information, it is the painful awareness that you already know the right direction. But your life isn't moving in that direction. It's like you are extremely hungry and you have the kitchen, you have the gas stove, you have all the ingredients to make the food, but you are not cooking anything. You know how to cook it, but still you are not cooking and you are struggling to feed yourself. You are feeling hungry. So, it's that painful awareness that you already know the right direction, but your life is not moving in that direction. You make plans, you promise yourself change, you imagine a better version of your life, but when the moment comes to act, something inside you hesitates. You delay, you distract yourself, you say you will start tomorrow. And slowly tomorrow turns into next week, then next month. And eventually you begin asking yourself a difficult question. Why can't I just do what I know is right? Now, here is the part most people never realize. This struggle has very little to do with intelligence and very little to do with discipline. It has everything to do with how the human brain is designed. Your brain has one main job. Not success, not productivity, not achievement. Its primary job is survival. Your brain constantly scans your environment looking for threats. Thousands of years ago, those threats were physical. Wild animals, dangerous environments, lack of resources. But today, the threats are psychological. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. And here is the surprising part. Your brain reacts to psychological threats almost the same way it reacts to physical danger. It tries to avoid them. So when you think about taking an action that could change your life, your brain quietly asks a question. What if this goes wrong? And suddenly you feel resistance. Not because the action is bad, but because your brain wants to keep you safe. Now, here is something more interesting. Your brain prefers familiar discomfort over unfamiliar possibility. Think about that for a moment. A job that makes you unhappy but feels predictable. A relationship that drains you but feels familiar. Habits that waste your time but feel comfortable. Even when something is not good for you, if it is familiar, your brain feels safe with it. But change induces uncertainty. And uncertainty requires energy and courage. So instead of pushing you forward, your brain gently pulls you back. Not dramatically, but subtly. through procrastination, through distraction, through endless thinking. And this leads to another fascinating psychological trick. Overthinking feels like process. You analyze every possible outcome. You plan, you research, you gather in more information, and it feels like you are moving forward. But thinking and action are not the same. Thinking creates the illusion of control. Action creates real changes, and action requires vulnerability. Because the moment you act, you expose yourself to mistakes. You expose yourself to judgment. You expose yourself to uncertainty. So the brain keeps you thinking instead of acting, because thinking feels safer. But here is another layer of the problem that many people never notice: identity. Deep inside, many people carry invisible beliefs about themselves. I am not disciplined. I always procrastinate. I never finish what I start. These beliefs quietly shape behavior. Your brain naturally tries to stay consistent with your identity. So if you believe you are someone who struggles with discipline, your behavior will unconsciously confirm that belief, even when you want to change. And this is why real transformation often begins with identity. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined," try saying, "I am someone who keeps small promises to myself." It may sound simple, but this small shift changes the way your brain interprets your actions. Now let me tell you something surprising. Motivation is not the solution most people think it is. People often say, "I will start when I feel motivated." But motivation is unreliable. It appears suddenly and disappears just as quickly. If your actions depend on motivation, consistency becomes impossible. Instead of waiting for motivation, focus on small structured actions. Ask yourself a simple question: what is the smallest step I can take right now? Not the perfect step, not the biggest step, not the most important step, just the small movement forward. 5 minutes of work, 10 minutes of reading, one honest conversation. Small actions reduce resistance, and once movement begins, momentum builds naturally. Now, here is a powerful truth many people discover too late. Clarity does not come before action. Clarity comes from action. Many people wait until they feel completely ready. But readiness is often an illusion. You learn by doing. You grow by experimenting. You discover your path by walking. Your action teaches you something. Every attempt provides feedback. Every step reduces uncertainty. Waiting for perfect clarity keeps you stuck. And movement creates clarity. So before we finish, there is one simple question you can start asking yourself every day. This question has helped many people break the cycle of hesitation and procrastination. The question is this: what is one small action my future self would thank me for? Just one action. Not 10, not 20, one. When you complete that one action, your brain registers progress. Progress builds confidence. Confidence builds consistency. And your consistency always changes identity. And identity shapes your life. So, if you are someone who knows what to do but struggles to act, remember this: you are not lazy, you are not broken, you are human. Your brain is simply trying to protect you from discomfort. But growth begins the moment you gently step beyond that comfort. Not dramatically, not perfectly, just gradually. One small courageous action at a time, because the life you imagine is not waiting inside more thinking. It is waiting on the other side of action. And the moment you take that first step, the distance between who you are today and who you want to become begins to disappear. Thank you so much for your time. I hope it will help. And please do not forget to subscribe my channel. It motivates me to keep creating such videos. Thank you.